How is a massive weather flip about to transform the entire continental United States? And why are 250 million Americans about to experience the most dramatic temperature swing in decades? Right now, as I speak to you, a weather revolution is unfolding that has climatologists genuinely stunned by its scope and intensity. A polar vortex blast that brought record-breaking cold this morning is about to be completely erased by a warm ridge that's defying all seasonal expectations. We're talking about places experiencing wind chills of minus 40 today that will see highs near 70 degrees by midweek, a 100-degree temperature swing in just 72 hours. I'm Michael Thompson, and today is Monday, December 15th, 2025. In the next 23 minutes, I'll walk you through exactly why this weather pattern has taken such an unprecedented turn. But here's what makes this different from any forecast you'll hear today. This isn't just a warm-up, it's a complete atmospheric reorganization. I'm pulling data that's been updated within the last 3 hours from emergency management centers across 15 states who are scrambling to adjust their Christmas week preparations. At precisely 3 minutes, I'll break down exactly what each region can expect hour by hour, including the shocking Christmas forecast that has weather models in rare agreement. So here's the thing that has me genuinely fascinated. We're witnessing a textbook example of what happens when winter hits the brakes. This morning, Kansas City woke up to wind chills of negative 38 degrees. By Wednesday afternoon, they could hit 68 degrees actual temperature. The northern plains, which saw temperatures 30 degrees below normal just yesterday, are about to experience their warmest December days on record. But here's where this story takes an unexpected turn. This warm ridge isn't bringing quiet weather like we typically see. What does this mean for Christmas travel plans? We're looking at a pattern that could produce everything from severe thunderstorms to mountain blizzards. I just checked the latest Climate Prediction Center outlays, and they're showing above-average temperatures for 80% of the continental United States through Christmas Eve. Now, here's what caught my attention in the atmospheric river forecasts. The Pacific Northwest is about to get hammered again. A series of warm, moisture-laden systems are lined up like freight trains in the Pacific, ready to slam into Washington and Oregon. We're talking about snow levels rising from 2,000 feet to over 7,000 feet in a matter of hours as these warm atmospheric rivers arrive. Let me tell you what I'm seeing in the models that has flood forecasters deeply concerned. Another 3 feet of mountain snow turning to rain. The Cascade Range could see total precipitation amounts exceeding 10 inches in 48 hours. Most of it falling as warm rain on existing snowpack. Why are hydrologists calling this a compound flooding disaster? Because we've got rain, snowmelt, and saturated ground all converging simultaneously. Emergency officials in Washington state tell me they're preparing evacuation plans for areas that flooded just last week but thought they were safe. But wait, there's something developing that might surprise you about this warm pattern. It's not going to be steady. Instead of boring, quiet warmth, we're looking at what meteorologists call a variable pattern with dramatic swings built right in. How does a high-pressure ridge create storm systems instead of calm weather? The answer lies in the sheer intensity of the temperature contrasts. When warm air this strong collides with the next cold front, we get the perfect setup for severe weather, possibly even in December. Computer models are showing potential for supercell thunderstorms across the southern plains by December 19th, with tornado signatures appearing in the data. What happens when you have 75-degree air in Oklahoma meeting Arctic air dropping out of Canada? You get December severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued preliminary outlooks for significant severe weather potential during the holiday travel period. Let me share something that might surprise you about Christmas week. We could see both record heat and blizzard conditions simultaneously. At exactly 3 minutes, here's your comprehensive regional breakdown. Northeast, you guys are in for quite a ride over the next week. Current conditions show brutal cold with wind chills approaching minus 20 degrees. Boston recorded 18 degrees this morning. That's 25 degrees below normal. But Tuesday night, everything changes. A warm front races through, bringing the region's first significant thaw since early December. By Wednesday evening, Burlington, Vermont could reach 55 degrees. That would shatter the December record by 12 degrees. The 48 to 72-hour outlook includes rapid snowmelt and potential ice jam flooding as temperatures soar 40 degrees above normal. For Christmas planning in the Northeast, current model consensus shows mild temperatures in the 50s with increasing rain chances. Southeast, your weather story is all about extremes colliding. Current conditions show freeze warnings from Texas to northern Florida. Atlanta dropped to 22 degrees this morning, cold enough to damage citrus crops and burst unprotected pipes. But by Thursday, Atlanta could reach 75 degrees. That's a 53-degree temperature swing that will stress infrastructure and vegetation. The Christmas outlook for the Southeast is trending toward record warmth. Miami could see 88 degrees on Christmas Day. Midwest, your ground zero for the most dramatic transformation. Current conditions show temperatures 25 to 35 degrees below normal. Chicago recorded a low of 8 degrees this morning with wind chills near minus 20. Dangerously cold for any exposed skin. But here's the shocking part. By Wednesday afternoon, Chicago could hit 62 degrees, potentially breaking a 127-year-old record. Minneapolis, you're looking at an even more extreme swing from minus 12 this morning to potentially 58 degrees by Thursday. The 72-hour forecast includes complete snow melt across much of the region, turning winter wonderlands into muddy landscapes. For Christmas week in the Midwest, all models agree on well above average temperatures with record heat possible. Mountain West, your forecast is complicated by elevation and atmospheric rivers. Current conditions show typical December cold. Denver sits at 28 degrees under partly cloudy skies, normal for mid-December, but about to change dramatically. By Friday, Denver could reach 68 degrees, warm enough for outdoor dining and golf in the middle of December. But here's where it gets complex. The mountains will see heavy snow as atmospheric rivers impact higher elevations. Pacific Northwest, you're facing a multifaceted weather emergency. Current conditions show active atmospheric river impacts. Seattle has received 2.3 inches of rain since midnight, with rivers already approaching flood stage across western Washington. Tuesday brings a brief lull, but Wednesday evening triggers the next atmospheric river, potentially the strongest yet. Snow levels will rocket from 2,000 feet to over 7,000 feet as warm air overrides the region, creating rapid snowmelt. Portland, you're looking at 3 to 6 inches of rain between Wednesday evening and Friday morning, on top of already saturated ground. The Christmas forecast for the Pacific Northwest shows continued warm, wet conditions, with flooding remaining a major concern. South Central, Texas to Louisiana, you're about to experience meteorological whiplash. Current conditions show hard freeze warnings. Dallas recorded 19 degrees this morning, cold enough to threaten citrus groves and test power grid reliability. But Thursday could bring record-breaking heat. Dallas may reach 82 degrees, which would crush the existing December record. Houston, you're looking at a temperature swing from 26 degrees this morning to potentially 85 degrees by Friday. Now here's where this gets really interesting. The severe weather potential that develops from these extreme contrasts. Don't miss what I'm about to reveal, because this could determine whether your Christmas travel plans need major modifications. The most critical factor is understanding that this warm surge comes with a price: increasing storm activity. Here's exactly what you need to know for the next 5 days. Tuesday through Wednesday brings the warm-up with generally quiet weather. Thursday through Friday introduces the storm potential as cold fronts try to slice through the warm air mass. Weekend forecast remains uncertain, but long-range models suggest another significant weather system developing. Let me tell you what I'm seeing in the extended models that has Christmas planners concerned across multiple industries. The warm ridge pattern appears to lock in place through December 25th, creating record heat potential for Christmas Day. But immediately after Christmas, models show a sharp pattern flip, potentially bringing winter back with a vengeance. The December 26th through New Year's period could feature the season's most significant winter storm for the eastern United States. What does this mean for holiday shopping and New Year's travel? Plan for warm Christmas weather, but cold, stormy New Year's week. Let me share something that might surprise you about this atmospheric pattern. It's being driven by ocean temperatures. A persistent high-pressure ridge over the Bering Sea is deflecting the jet stream in ways that create these temperature extremes. This same pattern is responsible for both the Pacific Northwest flooding and the record warmth building across the interior. Climate scientists are studying this event as an example of how weather patterns are becoming more extreme and persistent. Stick around for the shocking development at the 8-minute mark, where I'll reveal what this means for your specific location. Now, let me walk you through the hour-by-hour evolution of this remarkable weather transformation starting tonight. Monday evening, cold air begins its retreat as upper-level winds shift. Current Arctic air mass weakens across the northern tier. Tuesday morning, warm air advection begins in earnest. Temperatures start their dramatic climb across the Central Plains. Tuesday afternoon, the warm surge accelerates. Places like Kansas City could see 40-degree temperature rises in 12 hours. At the 8-minute mark, here's the shocking development. This warm air mass is so strong, it's melting snow cover at unprecedented rates. Satellite data shows snow disappearing across 500,000 square miles of the central United States in just 48 hours. This rapid snowmelt is creating flash flood potential in areas that haven't seen above freezing temperatures in 2 weeks. Wednesday morning, peak warmth arrives across the Midwest and Northern Plains. Record highs likely from Nebraska to Wisconsin. Wednesday evening, the warm air reaches the Northeast. Boston could see its warmest December day since records began in 1872. Thursday morning, the Pacific atmospheric river intensifies. Heavy rain and mountain snow simultaneously across the west. This isn't just warm weather, it's a complete restructuring of North America's winter pattern in real time. Why are energy companies activating emergency protocols? Because this temperature swing is creating massive demand fluctuations. Natural gas demand could drop 40% in 48 hours as heating needs vanish across the heating-heavy northern tier. Electric utilities are switching from winter peak demand planning to shoulder season operations in the middle of December. But wait, there's something developing that could complicate this warm pattern. Severe weather potential. When warm air this anomalous meets the next cold front, atmospheric instability reaches dangerous levels. What happens when 80-degree air in Texas collides with Canadian Arctic air? You get December supercells and possible tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center is already monitoring December 18th to 20th for significant severe weather across the south-central United States. Areas from Dallas to Little Rock could see their first December tornado outbreak since 2021 if current trends continue. Now here's where this story takes another unexpected turn. The Christmas Eve weather pattern. Instead of sustained warmth, models are hinting at a sharp cold front arriving just in time for Christmas Eve. This could create a classic bookend Christmas, record heat Christmas morning followed by Arctic cold Christmas night. The Great Lakes region might experience a 50-degree temperature drop from Christmas Day afternoon to December 26th morning. But here's what really concerns me. The infrastructure impacts of such rapid temperature swings. Water main breaks typically spike during rapid freeze-thaw cycles as ground frost patterns shift dramatically. Road surfaces stressed by freeze-thaw cycles develop potholes and cracks that won't be repairable until spring. Building foundations can shift as frozen ground rapidly thaws, potentially causing structural issues. Agricultural impacts extend beyond immediate crop damage to affect soil preparation for next year's growing season. Don't miss the next part because I'm about to reveal the most critical decision-making information for holiday plans. For Christmas travel, here's the updated reality. Warm weather makes driving conditions excellent through December 23rd. Airlines are reducing de-icing operations, and weather delays should be minimal for the Christmas travel period. But the post-Christmas pattern flip means December 26th to 31st, travel could face significant winter weather challenges. Ski resorts across the northern tier are facing unprecedented challenges as base depths disappear in days. Vermont ski areas could lose 2 to 3 feet of base depth this week as temperatures reach the 50s and 60s. Now let me address something that might surprise you about this warm outbreak: the air quality implications. Rapid snowmelt releases months of accumulated pollutants, creating potential water quality issues in urban areas. Dust and allergens normally suppressed by snow cover become airborne as the white blanket disappears. Some sensitive individuals may experience unexpected allergy symptoms during this December warm spell. Temperature inversions become more likely during rapid warm-ups, potentially trapping pollutants in urban valleys. But here's what's most remarkable about this weather pattern: the historical context. Records dating back to the 1800s show fewer than a dozen comparable December warm-ups of this magnitude and scope. The last similar event was December 2015, which brought 70-degree Christmas temperatures to New York City. Climate researchers are documenting this event as part of a trend toward more extreme winter temperature swings. Weather pattern persistence is increasing, meaning both extreme cold and extreme warmth last longer than historically normal. Emergency management protocols are being updated to handle these rapid-fire weather extremes more effectively. Psychological impacts of extreme weather swings include disrupted sleep patterns and seasonal mood adjustments. Many people report feeling disoriented when December temperatures reach summer levels unexpectedly. Healthcare systems prepare for increased emergency visits related to rapid weather changes affecting chronic conditions. Now, let me address what's happening specifically in the Pacific Northwest with these atmospheric rivers. The current flooding situation is being compounded by this warm pattern, creating a perfect storm of hydrology disasters. Rain falling on snow at unprecedented elevations is generating runoff volumes that exceed historical records. River systems that normally peak in April or May are reaching spring flood levels in mid-December. Landslide risk increases exponentially when warm rain hits frozen, unstable slopes previously stabilized by snow. Emergency evacuation routes in some areas may become impassable due to multiple simultaneous flooding and slide events. Don't miss what I'm about to reveal about the economic implications of this weather pattern shift. Retail shopping patterns shift dramatically when December feels like April. Outdoor merchandise surges unexpectedly. Energy futures markets are experiencing volatility as heating demand projections become unreliable. Christmas tree farms face challenges as traditional snowy photo opportunities disappear in many regions. Winter recreation industries see immediate revenue impacts as ski conditions deteriorate rapidly. Agricultural products like winter wheat face stress from premature warming, followed by potential refreezing. Insurance companies activate severe weather response teams as flood and storm damage potential increases. Transportation logistics require complete revision as winter driving conditions vanish unexpectedly. This pattern creates unique challenges for holiday shipping, with both opportunities and complications emerging. Construction and infrastructure projects can accelerate with warm weather, but face complications from ground thaw. Emergency services experience both relief from reduced cold weather calls and increased flood response demands. Tourism patterns shift as warm weather destinations lose their seasonal advantage temporarily. Wildlife behavior becomes unpredictable as hibernation patterns and migration routes face disruption. But here's where this gets really interesting from a meteorological perspective: the jet stream mechanics. Instead of the typical wavy winter jet stream, we're seeing an unusual ridge-trough pattern locked in place. This creates what scientists call an omega block, a pattern that resists change and maintains extreme conditions. The atmospheric rivers hitting the Pacific coast are actually feeding energy into this blocking pattern. Computer models suggest this configuration could persist for 10 to 14 days, unusual for typically transient winter patterns. Understanding these mechanics helps explain why the warm-up is so extreme and widespread rather than localized. Now, let me address something that's been concerning public health officials: the disease implications. Rapid temperature swings stress immune systems and can trigger respiratory issues in vulnerable populations. Insect populations that normally die off in winter may persist, potentially extending disease vector seasons. Mold and allergen levels spike as organic matter rapidly thaws and decomposes in warm, wet conditions. Seasonal depression patterns become disrupted when expected winter conditions vanish unexpectedly. Healthcare systems prepare for unusual seasonal patterns in everything from flu transmission to accident rates. Stick around for the most important part coming up: how this pattern affects your specific planning needs. For homeowners, this warm spell offers unexpected opportunities for outdoor maintenance and preparation. Heating systems should be checked and adjusted as demand drops dramatically but may spike again post-Christmas. Roof ice dams that form during the cold spell may create water damage as rapid melting begins. Landscaping and tree health face stress from freeze-thaw cycles affecting root systems and branch stability. Water pipes that were protected by ground frost may become vulnerable as soil conditions change rapidly. For businesses, inventory management becomes challenging as seasonal demand patterns become unpredictable. Outdoor dining and retail opportunities surge unexpectedly in regions that normally close for winter. Supply chain logistics benefit from reduced weather delays, but face challenges from flooding in the Northwest. Energy sector operations require rapid adjustment as demand patterns flip from winter peaks to moderate levels. Now here's what I need you to understand about the recovery pattern as we move toward 2026. This extreme warm spell appears to be a temporary disruption rather than a permanent pattern shift. Long-range forecasts suggest winter conditions return with intensity during the first week of January. The contrast between Christmas warmth and New Year's cold could create some of the most dramatic weather swings on record. Snow cover lost during this warm spell may take weeks to rebuild once normal winter patterns return. But here's where this story has some positive aspects: the environmental benefits. Energy consumption drops dramatically during warm spells, reducing both costs and environmental impact. Transportation efficiency improves with reduced snow removal needs and better road conditions. Wildlife that struggled during the recent cold spell gets a reprieve to recover and find food sources. Water supplies benefit from snowmelt and rainfall, improving reservoir levels in many regions. Outdoor activities and recreation opportunities surge, providing mental health benefits during typically challenging winter months. Don't miss the next part because I'm about to share the critical timing for year-end weather planning. New Year's Eve celebrations face uncertain weather as the pattern flip could bring snow and cold to many major cities. January 2nd through 5th shows strong potential for significant winter storms across the eastern two-thirds of the nation. School districts may face difficult reopening decisions if severe weather hits during the first week back from holiday break. Business operations should prepare for potential disruptions during the traditionally slow first week of January. Travel plans for early January should include flexible booking options as weather uncertainty increases significantly. Winter sports enthusiasts should take advantage of this warm spell to maintain equipment before more extreme conditions return. But here's what gives me confidence about weathering these extreme changes: modern forecasting capabilities. Advanced computer models provide 7 to 10-day advance warning of these dramatic pattern shifts. Satellite monitoring allows real-time tracking of atmospheric rivers and temperature patterns. Emergency management systems have evolved to handle rapid weather transitions more effectively. Public awareness and communication systems ensure people receive critical information quickly. This demonstrates that while we can't control extreme weather, we can prepare and respond more intelligently. Now, let me share specific protective actions for the next critical 7-day period starting tonight. Tonight through Tuesday, enjoy the rapid warm-up, but monitor flood-prone areas as snow melts accelerate. Wednesday through Thursday, peak warmth arrives with record potential. Check air conditioning systems surprisingly. Friday through Sunday, watch for storm development as pattern becomes more volatile with approaching fronts. Christmas week, enjoy warm conditions but prepare for rapid changes immediately after the holiday. As we wrap up this comprehensive forecast, here are the 3 most critical things you need to remember. First, this warm-up is temporary but extreme. Prepare for record-breaking December heat followed by winter's return. Second, regional differences are huge. Pacific Northwest flooding continues while the interior bakes in record warmth. Third, pattern volatility increases after Christmas. January could bring some of the winter's most challenging weather. This Christmas week will be remarkable for its warmth, creating opportunities but also requiring different planning. By New Year's Day, winter patterns begin reasserting themselves, leading to more typical seasonal conditions. Spring-like conditions through Christmas give way to potentially harsh winter conditions for early 2026. We're witnessing weather history in real time, extreme events that will be studied for years to come. Americans are adaptable and resilient. We handle extreme weather by staying informed, prepared, and helping neighbors. This weather pattern will challenge us but also provide unique opportunities for outdoor activities and family gatherings. In my next forecast, I'll reveal the stunning New Year's weather pattern developing. The shocking winter comeback that could make the first week of January one of the coldest on record. Why this pattern flip could create the most significant January snowstorms in over a decade. The unprecedented temperature contrast that could make early 2026 historically memorable for weather. Enjoy this remarkable warm spell, but stay weather aware as conditions remain dynamic and potentially changeable. Make the most of opportunities this unusual weather provides while staying prepared for what comes next. I'm Michael Thompson, and I'll be back with critical updates as this historic weather pattern continues evolving. Take care of yourselves, embrace the unusual warmth, and remember, weather always keeps us guessing. Stay flexible with your plans and enjoy what promises to be one of the most memorable Christmases in weather history.